Hi, welcome to Physical Science 3.2c. This is a naming summary. You may want your formula sheet. You may want to add these to your formula sheet just so you have easy access to them later. 1. You need to identify the type of bond that you have, either ionic or covalent. Ionic bonds will have a metal from the left-hand side of the stairstep and a non-metal from the right-hand side. Covalent will have two non-metals, so two things from the right-hand side of the stairstep. You can also identify the type of bond by the number of capital letters. If it has more than two capital letters, it's automatically ionic because it has a polyatomic. When you go to name it, if it is ionic, it will have a first name and a last name. Now, the easiest one is the simple element and the first name. The last name is the root-ide system, and we've gone through those. The first name could also be a transition, remember, that requires a Roman numeral, or a positive polyatomic. Remember, it's always going to be positive first thing in an ionic bond. Or the last name could be a polyatomic. If it is covalent, again, it will have a first name and a last name. The first name starts with a prefix and then the element. The last name is the prefix root-ide. Remember that the first name cannot start with mono. So if there's only one element or one atom, we don't start with mono, we just use the element name. Remember that the prefix is the number of atoms. It's the subscript. So let's look at some examples. First of all, we want to identify the type of bond. So if I look at this and then I grab my periodic table, Ti is titanium. So automatically, I know that I have a polyatomic because I have more than two capital letters. I also have parentheses. That's how you can tell a polyatomic. And titanium, right? So this is ionic, first of all. Titanium is a transition element because it's in that transition section. And SO3 is a polyatomic. So the first name is titanium, and it needs a Roman numeral. Now, where do we get the Roman numeral to go in there? You look at the very, very back, right here, that little 3 is your Roman numeral. The last name then is the name of that polyatomic. And if you look at your polyatomic sheet, SO3 is sulfite. Okay. All right, number 2. S2O3. Well, it only has two capitals, so I don't know if it's ionic or covalent, but sulfur and oxygen are both nonmetals, so this is automatically covalent. Then I have to think prefixes, right? Covalent has different rules. So the 2 is disulfur, and the 3 is trioxide. Number 3, CaS. Well, calcium is on the left-hand side and sulfur is on the right-hand side, so this is ionic. It's not a transition, it's not a polyatomic. So this is just calcium sulfide. Last one. Look at all those capital letters in parentheses. That's definitely a polyatomic. So is aluminum in the transitions? No, it's not. So this is an ionic polyatomic. Al is aluminum. And on your polyatomic sheet, that is acetate, ACETATE. So you're going to have an assignment following this video that's going to be all mixed up where you have to identify the type of bond and give the first and last name. Thanks for watching.